The media never takes responsibility when they rile up hate mobs against people, which causes real world consequences every single time. I'm dealing with a hate mob right now, as I usually am, just because there's been a lot of false reporting about me in this channel, where I'm just trying to let people know what's going on in the world and let people know that there's an alternative towards mainstream entertainment. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author, an award-winning comic creator, and I've got spectacular comics out on my website right now. This is a big test for me, and this is why, guys. Everybody's been on Indiegogo, everybody's been on Kickstarter. I'm doing this on my own website just to see if people respond, if we can make this a viable business model without using one of those websites, without them taking a cut. And I'm also doing this because this cover right here is a parody cover that was banned by Fantagraphics Books. So Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor, cartoonist kayfabe, came out with a cover very similar to this, and they took some hits from the SJW mob, much like Dave Chappelle, and they equivocated. They canceled their own cover, they buried it, they got rid of it, and I said, you know what? We're not going to put up with that kind of censorship at this point. This is totally ties into Dave Chappelle, obviously. This is where our culture's at. And so you can help right now by picking up this book. I'll ship these out in a couple weeks. I'm just taking pre-orders so I know how many to order. And I appreciate you guys who support. I'll have that link in the description below for you. All right. Dave Chappelle attacked, physically attacked. They always talk about how, like, you know, jokes and all that, like Dave Chappelle makes about trans people and gay people or whatever, which Dave Chappelle makes fun of jokes about everybody. He's not exclusionary like that. He mostly makes fun of white people. But they always say it's going to lead to violence. It's going to lead to this. And when they cause these outrage mobs over these jokes, which is what his job is, he's a comedian who makes jokes. It's nothing serious. It actually does create an environment in which somebody's going to harass the performer here. I always have to worry that somebody's going to come to my house and, you know, mess with me because I make commentary about Hollywood on the internet. I mean, I shouldn't have to worry about that. I got kids, you know. I've had threats of people stabbing me and things like that. And you see in this video right here, it's very real that Dave Chappelle was attacked, and he had to have security come up on the stage and deal with it because somebody wanted to mess with him. Absolutely out of control. Now, I guess Jamie Foxx actually helped take down the attacker right here. And wow, look, his arm got just mangled. Jeez, wow. Okay, sorry about that. But this is what happens when you stoke outrage against people. When you tell people that people like Dave Chappelle aren't human. And this is very weird to me. I mean, do you remember 2 years ago, Black Lives Matter? Black lives were the most important thing. They were sacred. We should never encourage somebody to attack a black guy, but Dave Chappelle lost his black card because he told the joke that people didn't like. And that's, unfortunately, how it works these days. Identity is totally just based on where your politics fall, whether you subscribe to the mainstream media narrative or not. They don't care about your actual skin color. They don't care about your race. I'm a Hispanic guy. They attack me more than anybody. Dave Chappelle's black. They attack him more than anybody. And it's never about any sort of consistency. It's just about their outrage and their mob at the time. This is so dangerous, and I think we're really just seeing the beginning of this because, as we know, SJW's always doubled down. So when they tried to cancel him a couple years ago, you know, it was a small little fervor, and then they tried to actually rile up mobs. There were actual big protests. I know that YouTuber Vito got actually attacked by a trans person at that protest, and now they're actually running up on stage and trying to attack Dave Chappelle so he can't even do his comedy routines, which shouldn't impact them. If you don't like his comedy routines, just don't go to the show. Should be that simple. But this is the crazy era, and I think it's going to get worse. I mean, unfortunately, it's a matter of time before somebody gets shot or killed or whatever because the mainstream media has demonized them and unpersoned them. And I hate to report that that's going to be the case, but really that's how far it's going to go. When you get somebody crazed in this level of hatred, they don't just dial down. They just go crazier every single time. So I'll be watching this. I really hope that Mr. Chappelle doesn't take any more heat like this. I unfortunately think this is going to be the first of such incidents, and I think people are going to get more brazen unless the media does something to stop this nonsense, which we know they're never going to do because they're incentivized to divide us. They're incentivized to make us hate each other. Very sad. All right, let me know what you think about this. Leave a comment down below, and we will be back soon.